Welcome to Slaughterhouse Stories. I hope you enjoy the story I have for you tonight.
Sandy the Clown's Traveling Carnival.
I love carnivals. I have to admit it. I really do love them. And I have for a long time. When I was about 7, I went to my first carnival. I don't remember what its name was, or even where it was. But it was probably the best day of my entire childhood. It was nighttime, so of course it was dark and the lights were on. I loved all the bright colors that lit up the place as if the entire carnival was engulfed in a magical glow. I remember the carousel, with all the beautiful horses painted with golds and reds. I was particularly fond of the big wheel, standing there, covered in lights and towering over everything else. You felt like you owned the world when your cabin reached the top. I loved the candy floss for its sweet taste, warmth, color, and even the comical way it would stick to your lips every time you took a bite. About the time I turned 18, I started getting interest in older carnivals and circuses. The ones that had history, stories, and so on. As some of them aren't as popular, I spent a lot of my spare time searching for good places to go on the internet. That's how I found Sandy the Clown's Traveling Carnival. It started when I was scrolling through the results on Google. I was at about the 4th or 5th page when I came across the link. Sandy's Traveling Carnival. Under the link, the text read, "Sandy's looking forward to meeting you." I clicked the link, and it led me to a website with information about the carnival. The place had apparently been opened since the late 1880s and would change locations every 2 weeks. It seemed like fun, so of course my face lit up when I saw that it would arrive just outside my hometown in less than a month. I ordered tickets and decided to have a little look around the site for more information. I found a map which showed that the carnival had about 10 stalls, each with different games and shops. A small petting zoo that housed about 5 animals, some portaloos, 2 little shops, and a random building called Sandy's Here. It was mentioned nowhere else on the site, so I couldn't really find that much about it. About a month passed, and it was time to go to the carnival. I got in my car and drove over to the location. I parked in the field that had been rented for a car park, and made my way over to the entrance. Once I got there, I was greeted by the presence of a life-sized wooden statue of a clown. The paint was peeling and cracked. It was covered in dust. It stood on a box which read, "Sandy welcomes you to his carnival." I went on through the gate and gave my tickets to the ticket desk and hunted on through to the hustle and bustle of the carnival. Everything was perfect. The stalls were old but well kept. With classic games, families were jostling about, buying ice cream and enjoying themselves. I'd sometimes pass someone who seemed to be very happy with everything, smiling nearly literally from ear to ear. I played some games, ate some candy floss, and enjoyed the sun. It was all great. I looked at my map and realized I was pretty near to the building, labeled as Sandy's Here, and decided to check it out. I scanned the outside of the building. It looked like a funhouse or something, and a foldable one, which I guess was pretty explainable. I made my way up to the door and went inside. The wooden paneling was decorated with paintings of Sandy the Clown, handing out balloons to an array of people. The balloons were designed in such a way that they looked exactly like the heads of the people he was giving them to, only with creepy, disjointed smiles that stretched across their faces. I shuddered and decided to look away from the paintings and carry on walking. Once I reached the door, a thick, musty smell hit my nostrils, and dust made my eyes itch and tear up. The place is old. Of course there's some dust. The room was dimly lit and nearly empty, except for an old laughing clown. If you were unaware, a laughing clown is the upper torso of a person that sits in a glass case and shakes around and laughs when you put a coin in it. It was the same as the wooden statue outside, but something was off. He was in perfect condition. The paint looked new, the clothes bright and clean, the glass almost invisible. The worst part were the eyes. They looked real. I could almost see the shine of liquid on them. They stood out. It was really unnerving. I decided I was being silly. I mean, a lot of old things seemed creepy, so I swallowed my fear and walked up to it. I reached into my pocket for a coin and pushed it into the slot. The machinery started whirling, and the model started to move. A tiny voice box started playing an almost maniacal laughter. I took a step back. This was terrifying. The clown spun around, and the laughing got louder and louder. I wanted to run, but my legs wouldn't move. I wanted to close my eyes, but they were glued to the spinning dummy. Suddenly, the eyes turned to look at me. They were staring straight through me. Actually, this is pretty funny. I found myself laughing along, a smile spreading across my face. I love Sandy, and you should too. Go visit him sometime. Sandy can't wait to meet you. That's it for tonight's story. But before we end things, check out the Slaughterhouse Stories podcast. Available at all your favorite podcast sites. So download and subscribe. Be a listener, not a victim. And as always, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed tonight's story, please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time,
Stay spooky.